Hey, good evening, everybody. We are on with Can Be, or your new name. What's your new name to everyone?
Well, I mean, I changed my name because, there's just a lot of people calling me terrible, disgusting things, and making up lies about me as usual. So I just changed my name to whatever you want me to be. If you want me to be Can Be, I'll be that. If you want me to be brother, I'll be that. If you want me to be agent, shill, whatever you want to call me, I'm that.
Oh, I see. Well, you're Can Be to me.
What's up, Karen? How are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm all right, my darling. And we've both been going on a little sort of, what do you call it, a little war path, haven't we?
Oh my God. Yeah, there's been a lot going on. And before I begin, I've noticed, I'm still new to a lot of this, but my mind is growing, and what I've realized is a lot of people want to attach labels to me, and put me into, categories or link me to other people or other channels. Um, I know what
Do
I'm
you
about
think
to
it
say.
happens a little bit though when you put yourself out there? Because, there's a part of me I've changed the words. You can put the restrictions in of the words. And some of the things that got said to me, it was like I open them up and they're like the same thing over and over again. And
Well,
these people haven't thought, so they get deleted, and the group doesn't know about it.
yeah, I mean, they're come on. I mean, I have people saying that I'm you. Okay, so I mean that's
What?
that's just how I'm dead serious. Like that, and I don't
No.
know if
How
it's
did that
just
happen?
listen. I don't know if it's trolling or whatever the case may be, but I just took the labels off of myself. I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a anything. Okay,
How did
I'm
I
not
get
even a
to being
truther.
you? How did I get to being you, or you being me? Different
Oh,
sex, different
trust
sex for
trust
a start.
trust me, it's worse than that. I've been called a transgender. I've been called gay. I mean, it doesn't stop. I just stopped feeding into it, changed my name, and just said I'm done with all that. I'm just gonna stick to facts and what I know because I know who I
Yeah,
am.
because in a sense, we feel that we're trying to help everybody, or we might not be right on everything, but we're just giving out information of what we think.
Exactly, and they hate you. They want to hate you just for thinking out loud. I mean, it's insane now. And my main
And you
thing
don't
is
know
just
who these
to.
people are either, do you? You don't know whether they're them or they're real people or whether they're there just to ruin your channel. I just delete a
Well,
lot. I'm sorry, I delete them. I'm zero tolerance on all that.
yeah,
You
I
know, I,
mean,
I'm not, I might not be perfect, but I'm not rude to anybody. And if they're rude to me or they're rude to the channel, they get blocked. I don't even
well,
answer
here's
them.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing. It's like I'm down for whatever you guys want to do. You guys want to call me these names, that's fine. My thing is, hey, if you disagree with me or you want to have an issue or debate, call in, hit me up. Just like you, nobody wants to talk to me like this. Nobody. Like you're literally the only channel or person out there, that hits me up and says, hey, let's talk. Like this is what I love doing. I love talking. Like instead of, making up lies about someone and then hiding behind screens and never, and running away when you're confronted. You know what I mean? It's just enough is enough, man. Let's just get back to truth and you know thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I put a couple of your videos out
What's that?
on on your behalf, didn't I? I put a couple of your little
Oh
videos
yeah,
out. Like
yeah.
what about the helicopter pilot? Wow.
That was crazy. Yeah, and I caught so much flack from that too because people were like, "Oh, there's no way Kobe could be a white man and he's playing Andre Ingram, and there's no way he could be a helicopter pilot, right?" My thing is, look, what did it take for you to see that helicopter pilot? All it was just a few photos online, and there's no
People did
video
though,
or
Canby.
footage.
I read your comments. People did see it. All they kept saying was it's Kobe, 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 Kobe. But then you'll just get this one, and you just think, how did you get that? Everybody else can see this, and you say that.
Yeah.
But people can't help but be nasty. And people who've woken up are not nasty.
No, no, they're not. They're not, and that's why I talk to you because I don't care what your, if you have allegiances. I don't care about anything. I'm talking to you, Karen, like as a person, and that's the part that's been, um, deleted from all this is that human aspect to it. I'm a man, and I could stand on the words that I talk. Every single video that I ever put out, I'm willing to say these things in my real life to these people, to their faces. See, the problem is with these people that come in and cause drama, they're not willing to stand on those lies, and that's why they run away when you call them out. That's plain and simple. And so I'm here to just tell people, like, look, don't let that deter you from speaking your mind. Don't let that deter you from thinking out loud and talking to people, because they want you to stop. Like, even if these people aren't even shills and not paid to do this, and they're regular people like you and me, like, they're without knowing, they're really just discouraging people from stepping up to the plate and speaking their mind, because they see what we're going through, they see what I'm going through, and they're like, oh, fuck that, I don't want to deal with that, excuse my language. But it's like, you know, they see what I have to go through and be called all day,
I don't
and
think
people are just
people
like, I don't want
realise how many hours do you spend on that footage
it. What do you mean?
when you're looking and you're researching? How long do you spend researching? I bet you spend hours.
Well, I mean, I spent some good time on it, but I mean, you know, I don't watch TV, right? So I use the time that I used to watch TV. I just use that to go online and look stuff up. You know, why not?
What I'm saying is they're watching a little bit, like, I don't mean little like that, but they're watching a short video that took you 10 times the amount of time to make.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yes, I do understand. Yes, absolutely. You know, and they don't really understand, like, but for me though, I'll say this: it
How
doesn't
can
take
you?
anything.
Because I have the same problem. Because when you're trying to explain something back to someone, you can't go wham bam, it's done. There you go. Do you see that? You can't do it in all that. You've got to be able to explain it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not here to just, like, you know, hold everybody's hand and walk them down the aisle. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, you guys have your own minds. Like, I'm just speaking out loud. I'm going off of things that we have, like things that I can see. I'm like, oh, okay, I could talk about that because I could see it, and I could, you know, vet that in my own mind.
I don't
Um,
think people realise you're touching bits of it. Like, my avenue's different, but I'm touching a part of it. You're touching a part of it. We can't do it all. We just can't do it all. It's too much. But we're
no, no,
touching it, parts of it, to show people that things just don't add up.
yeah, yeah.
They
It's
just
pretty
don't.
sad.
It's
You
obvious
know, but
when you look.
the main thing is that, like, I just want people to know that we're being lied to. You know, and what happened recently is, like, people will take my work, they don't even make their own content anymore, they literally just watch my page, look at what I talk about, and then they'll attach they'll you know, make a new video and then attach a label to it, like they'll call it a tranny, you know, oh, they'll call it a clone, you know, or it's a reptilian shapeshifter, or it's all these things, and I'm just like, hey, wait a minute, the spell is already broken. I broke the spell, right? I said, I said, Obama is Epstein. Obama plays the role of Jeffrey Epstein. Now the spell is broken, right? Now what happens is people see that and they're like, no, we're going to add
They're all
more stuff to it,
playing each
and we're
other,
going to
can
add,
be.
yeah, but here's the thing: they add more confusion, and I'm just like, look, I've given you enough. Now you could just walk away from it. You don't even have to subscribe to that anymore. You know you're being lied to. If you want to sit around and wonder what's in their pants and their private parts look like, go ahead. But I'm not going to do it because it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care.
You get quite a few, people watching your videos, though, don't you?
Oh, what's that? I'm sorry.
You get quite a few people watching your videos, though, don't you?
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, it says thousands of views. Like, sometimes, like, my kill video hit like 7,000 views. Um, you know, which is crazy to me, but my sub count is still, you know, staying put. It doesn't really grow. It doesn't fluctuate really. It just stays the same. And none of that even matters. The views or the subscribers, none of that matters to me at all.
Yes, I don't know what they're doing there. I've made enough of my own videos about that, and that my panel was jumping all over the place, and they go, "No, there's nothing wrong." And then I realised that the box above said Google Chat, and now we're changing over to Google.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. It's just crazy. I don't mean, um, you know, and I really appreciate you having me on, because it just gives me another platform to speak on. I'll tell you this right now.
It's a
Uh,
pleasure, my darling.
um, I feel the same. And you know what's crazy is, after I dropped my video about Mad Mike Hughes, did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you want to get into it or not because there's a lot of drama that's attached to that, but I call that out as being fake because for me, there's no evidence at all that he was even in that rocket that crashed. There's zero evidence. So, and then you know, I've been called a shill and an agent for saying that, and I'm saying, wait a minute, can someone just provide the evidence that shows he was actually in that rocket and died? Or are we just going to have to believe it because it was on TMZ? It was on
I've
our
got something
mainstream
for
news.
you. When this all comes out, I want those people put in the rocket. I knew you'd laugh at that one because we
Yeah,
all
yeah,
know that they
no.
come straight back down to earth. Anyway,
Right,
yeah.
right. No, no, it's all good. I don't hold any grudge or anything against anybody. If you're a real person like I am, and you're a real one out here just trying to figure this whole thing out, I'm with you. If you're here to cause drama and confusion and just add nonsense to it, then I really just don't have time for it. Like, please leave me alone. And
When
or if
you've
that's the
woken
case,
up a
debate me.
bit, when you've woken up a bit, you don't mind listening, do you either? You know,
No,
you
of
can
course
listen
not.
to other people's objectives. When you I just feel so sad when people are trying to protect something because they believe it, but they're only fed it. You know, it's
Right.
oh, that's nice. My daughter, I don't know if you heard that. My daughter's flushing the toilet.
Oh,
There you
beautiful,
go,
beautiful.
to life at that time. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, it's just they're protecting something that I mean, we might have done it, but what I find really weird is that, you know, a few years ago, people were waking up, and now that, although they're waking up, it's not like it was before. It
Okay.
can't be
Yeah.
because people are either hiding from it, know it, and still getting on with it. I just don't, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, it was starting to really, anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. There's always like a wrench being thrown into this. There's always a monkey wrench being thrown into our progress and people communicating like adults. You know what I mean? There has to be those people that just can't let it go, and it really it messes up the whole thing. And it's like I again, I'm just coming back down to earth right now. I'm just saying, hey, if you have any issues with me, debate me, have a
I know why
conversation.
you do it because, like me, it just, you cannot believe it almost, and they're just getting away with it.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? I think that my thing is, and they're hiding behind screens, but my thing is, I'm hoping to call these people out because I want people to see that they have agendas and they're purposely doing these things and they're purposely making up lies just to discourage or discredit what I'm saying. Okay. And it's sad. But I want people that are waking up to understand, like, hey, that's not real life. You're only going to be called a tranny. You're only going to be called a shill or an agent. You're only going to be called, all these terrible things online. These things will never happen to you in your real
Do you know
life,
what I've
ever.
noticed? Because I bet you have the same if you go to your analysis channel. You'll suddenly see that all these videos that may be a year or even a year and a half old are still slowly simmering away in there. People
Yeah.
are watching, and there are times where I get these really nasty messages. But right now, all the messages that have come through are people who understand that there's something very wrong. So I'm really
Yes. Yeah.
pleased about that. But just to explain, you know, like I was doing the what case, and then I got onto politics, and then I got into film stars, and you're doing sports stars.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
they're not
I
stars,
do.
are they? Well, they are stars, but you know, they're not stars.
Yeah, yeah. I just do as much as I can. I'm trying to expand like what I talk about going forward too, because it's not just about celebrities, with dual roles. I mean, I want to get into law. I still want to get into, a lot of the NASA bullshit that they give us in outer space, and I even brought up, the fact that some of these animals that we're seeing are not real, and that's I can tell that I've been catching a lot of flack ever since I uploaded my little chimpanzee monkey video in gorillas. And I can see that, people don't like thinkers like that. They don't like to be even told something that crazy.
Hmm. I haven't watched that one, but explain a bit more then. So you've shown this video, and it's supposed to look real, and it's not.
Well, there's it's on my in my videos of a platypus. There was like some I guess it was in Australia. I don't know where it was, but they showed these scientists releasing a platypus into the wild, right, into the water. The problem with that video is the platypus they used didn't even exist. It was actually CGI'd in.
Oh yes, that one, I saw it.
Yeah,
Yes, that's the thing I'm facing. I
yeah,
put one out last night about this guy. He puts his hand up and you can see through his fingers and you can see through his chest
yeah. Well, yeah, and you
because
can
they're
see that,
superimposed. They're
right?
superimposed onto the video.
But here's the thing, though. You know what it told me? It told me that they have technology that's advanced, and it's better than what they give us in the movies. Because that platypus in the video, it looks so real, but I can tell that that was not a real animal. That was CGI. And my question is, right? My question is, if platypus are platypi, I don't know what to call it, but if they're real, if that's a real animal, then why they have to fake that? You see what I'm saying? Like if a platypus was like a real wild animal,
Yeah, why not just be real from the beginning?
right, right, exactly. Like why'd they have to CGI in a platypus? That's just and they pass it off as real. Like that video is still up under a science channel and it's being passed off to people as a real life event. Well, why'd you fake it? You see?
They do it all the time. You know, I've got I put it on Scrambled. It was a bubble, and in fact, the video it's two videos, but this bubble, basically, you can see these faces and things in it. And at the beginning, it turns in another bubble turns into a penguin.
Oh, stop it.
It does. It's on Scrambled. It's a flipping penguin.
Wow, what the hell, man? Yeah,
What
it's
it is they're going so fast, these images, that you're not going to see them at normal speed. And I've had so much flack at slowing footage down. And yeah, it makes it a little bit more blurry. It does. But
right.
when you slow it down, you see things, you see the mistakes.
Oh yeah, big time. Um, you know what? I just thought of something actually. Hold on. Let me I just need to put my airplane mode on so that I don't get a call. Hold on. Sorry.
Because you're a busy
Totally
man.
forgot. There. Hello?
Yeah, you back? Hello,
Yeah.
you're back.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
I
Yeah,
find
sorry.
it quite alarming because I sit on it and I get it, and then I think about things and I think, oh my God, it just really annoys me. But because, I just remember having we did this before about someone else, and they said, what were we doing in the 1930s? What happened then? What, we all sitting there and just let this happen? It wasn't
Right.
now this has come from. This is from whenever it was, the turn of, the 18th century into the 1920, whatever it was. It was back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Karen, let me ask you something. Do you have any like did you have anything like before we go forward? Do you have any like questions for me or like did you want to get into anything?
Well, I know what you do, and I suppose I knew you'd talk a bit about what's on your channel.
Hmm. Yeah. I
But I
guess
did
I've been
forget
looking
about the platypus one because I did watch that one, and it was like, wow,
right. And what I've been doing is
this is what they're doing to us all the time. I can't.
mhm.
What I think is this thing that I thought I was watching that was sort of live, and this isn't. It's just that all was a program. The whole
Yes,
thing was a program.
everything, all of it. It doesn't stop though. That's the craziest part is that when you look at these things, it doesn't stop. Like, where are they not lying? You know what I mean? Like, where is there anything that's actually true that they're giving us? Like, because I'm trying to figure out
Yeah, and you
where
think,
the
well,
truth
why would
is.
they do that? Why would they need to do that? I mean, they keep telling us what they did to the Russians. Well, they're doing it to us.
Yeah, all these countries and whatever you want to call it, it's all BS. It's all drama. It's just made up. There's a presidential candidate that's going by the name of Mike Bloomberg for the president of the United States. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't. Well, I might have recognized his face. I'll probably recognize his face. I'm not so good at names.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
many names.
Well, Mike Bloomberg, he's a Democrat. That is actually George Bush Jr. So George Bush Jr., the one that was our president, I believe, right before Barack Obama, he's in a disguise, and he's being passed off as a
Yeah, you
Democrat named Mike
feel they
Bloomberg.
wear masks, don't you?
What's
Whereas
that?
I actually, you feel they wear masks. you know, like it's a latex mask or something. Whereas I
Well,
actually
yeah.
thought that they were just superimposing them in somehow with some virtual reality.
No, 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 no. I mean that could always be possible, but I use my discernment and I just say like, what is the easiest way to go, right?
But
The
sometimes the
easiest
faces are
explanation.
all blocked out. You know, like you're looking at them. We're supposed to be in a digital society, but
Hmm.
everything. I know you said the Platypus one was good, but a lot of the footage we get given now is just not good. It's not. It's
No,
not good quality at all. We're
no,
digital.
no.
It should be. It should be good.
Yeah, and I think that the technologies they have are far more advanced than what they give us. But what I'm saying is, just to go back to that really quick, Mike Bloomberg, um, and he's wearing a disguise. So the thing that I kind of changed it up to a little bit was using the word mask, because I've already seen that people have been trying to create a label with the masks as well. So I just call it like, you could call it a facade or you could call it a disguise, right? But it's certainly being passed off as real, and that's how they're getting away with all these deceptions. They're literally, disguising themselves in the best methods that they have, and they're passing off as they're deceiving us. It's very simple.
Yeah, all the time. They're making up court cases. It's just all of it.
Yeah,
So basically, it's a bit like, we watch our Coronation Street, EastEnders, Dallas Dynasty, all that lot. It's like they've done that. It's like an episode they're making for us, another episode. But
right,
they're in the media, they're on the television, they're in the news. I mean, I watched the news the other day and I felt so depressed. It was like war, death, this, that, death, this. It was all about not one thing they said nice.
right. No, no, no. I mean, it's fear porn, right? Because, and that's the thing where I don't know, and I respect everyone's opinion, okay, and including yours, Karen. So I'm not going to say anything bad, but what is your stance on cloning?
Um, well, I put a video out today because it was like I was talking to a friend last night, and she was talking about the fact that ships are sort of in like can't dock and they've got food on them, and then she talked about 5G, and I was like, what? And it's because I was ringing her. She's Australian, so it was really like I woke up, went to the loo, and then I was calling Australia. Um, so it was really late in the morning, like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever it was this morning. And
Yeah.
then I woke up, and then in my inbox comes a video from another friend explaining that this woman had put a video out and she had to mask everything, like the words she was saying to try and explain it was all about 5G. And they've known about it for a long time. But again, I put that out because I thought, yeah, I need to tell people. But we don't know what anything is. They love all these games. But
Well,
it's
they
all
love, yeah.
wrong, all of it. It's all wrong.
But I'm asking though, do you think that cloning, like they're cloning people?
It's hot. I probably. You feel
Okay.
they do, don't you? You feel they do. You
No,
feel like you're not
no, I
sure.
feel
No,
no, I absolutely disagree with cloning. I don't think cloning is real at
I don't agree with
all.
it. But you know what? We're
Yeah.
clones, really, of our parents.
Good one. Yeah, that's true. But that's a natural way.
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't think they
natural
could.
way, of course.
I don't think they could play God and just create a human. That's just my opinion. And all the evidence of cloning, it came from the nightly news. It came from your
Well, you're
mainstream
supposed to be
news.
able to hologram and take your hologram with you. You can use it like if, say, you've had a bereavement or something and you want to take your mum out to the theatre. I was thinking,
Mhm.
what? Like, I just don't think they can pass those off as people.
No.
I just
So
don't.
so let me get into this
But
really
you
quick.
know something? Listen. We're talking to each other right now, right? There is no
Hmm.
wire between us, and there's no time delay, and you're hours away from me. Whatever technology they've got a lot more than this. And this isn't something that was done maybe 50, 60 years ago. This is Tartaria we're using.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying that I think cloning was given to us to believe in, so that we look crazy when we say that Mike Bloomberg is George W. Bush.
We're
There'll
not
be
allowed to
people that
question anything anymore, though, isn't it? Can be. That's what it
no,
is. You put
no,
something up like that, you find a yellow, or there's something going on your channel, or you have to lose your views or your thing. You're not allowed to disagree. We've not been given very good algorithms, probably.
yeah, no, they don't want us to, they don't want us to think for ourselves. That's what it really comes down to. And I'm just a guy on YouTube speaking out loud. I'm thinking out loud, and look at all the drama that's come from it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Do you know what? When we talked last time on the Hangout, I remember the other person said to me on a Hangout, they said, "Do you know what's happened then? Do you know what you've got to do? You either accept it the way it is or you move on to another channel." And I was thinking, oh, they're probably right about that because I'm sick to death of what's going on in my life on my channel. Not the people, just what, the back bit, the bit that
Yeah,
people don't see, them. And then
yeah,
you said, no, we need to stay here and tell everybody the truth. And I was thinking,
absolutely.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's how I feel. I feel like their main goal is to get the thinkers off of YouTube. They don't want us. They don't want us talking on YouTube because YouTube has the most eyes worldwide, and they
Well,
want
look at
us.
it. Look at the ads on it now. It's turned into television. We
Hmm.
came here to get away from all that, and now because nobody watches the television the same, they've come here for it. I bet you
Yeah,
everybody's paid for Sky and that, but nobody watches it. They're on YouTube making videos or watching YouTube. But yeah, now you like. Oh, anyway, yeah, carry on.
no, no. I mean, no, I agree. They're trying to make it mainstream on YouTube, but what I'm saying is that YouTube has the most eyes, like your casual watcher, and that's who I'm trying to reach. I'm just trying to
Oh yeah, I
get the
got told
word out.
about the golden ticket. I needed the golden ticket was that to make sure that everybody watched the whole video and got to the end. That was the golden ticket. They told
Okay.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just bizarre. Like you're talking to Google Earth. You're not talking
Right,
to YouTube anymore.
right.
That's what
Yeah,
it said Google Chat.
right. Um, so so how do you feel? What are your I'm just, we're just having a discussion. I mean, what are your opinions about flat Earth at this point?
You're asking me that now. Well, I can't help it. I can't believe we're some spinning ball floating through space. I can't. It's not true. Water seeks its level. It just goes on, and I've been like that now for about well, since 2016.
Yeah, the only problem I have with calling yourself a flat earther is that you're putting a label on yourself, and then you're putting yourself in a community of other people who
Well,
have
that's why this
bad
channel,
intentions.
Unscrambled, I don't go on about it.
Yeah, and neither should. I mean, look,
We
I
don't
have no
have
problem
to.
talking
Most
about it.
of us, to be honest, even when I don't, I think half the people that come in Unscrambled are flat earthers anyway. Because some of the comments, the way
Yeah,
where they write them, that they're
yeah. I
not
mean,
global people.
no, flat Earth is mainstream at this point, and it's just so infiltrated that it's like they just want you stuck talking about flat Earth. They don't want you thinking about
Oh yeah,
anything
listen,
else. They
listen. I have another channel called Sun and Moon Family United, and on there people talk and people do experiments. People try things. The people are doing it.
good, good, yeah, and that's a great thing,
I'll send.
you
I,
know.
I will
But
put this on Sun and Moon as well, and I will send you the link to it.
oh yeah, down, down. And again, it's just funny to me how you're like, I just keep thinking about this. No one hits me up to talk to me. No one. They will. The only thing they'll do is just make a crazy lie about me and run away when I ask to speak to them. You're the only channel that's actually talking to me, and it's sad. I mean, not to say that your channel's sad. I'm saying it's sad that
It's
I can't
okay. I
speak to anyone.
understand.
No, 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 no. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like
Well,
we should be able to have.
we're doing a similar. You're doing it about sport people, and I'm doing it about the media. We're actually doing the same thing, just slightly different subject. That's all.
Yeah, and it's like, why can't we all come together and all add our input? Bring something to the table. It's like they don't want you making your own channel. They don't want you speaking your own mind.
They tell you
It's
you
like,
do, but then they tell you you've got democracy, which is a load of rubbish.
oh, it's bullshit. Yeah, it's BS. There's all these things are just facades that we have to put on a face. We have to put on a persona, and we have to act in our regular day life just to make a couple bucks. And it's so sick. I can't. It's hard to participate in the matrix for me now. You know, it's like I can't fake it anymore. Like, I have to be real, and I have to wake people up. Like, I
It
truly
makes you
feel
a bit
that.
more serious, though, doesn't it? Because when you've understood all the wrongs, how can you can't laugh and be happy the same way. You just want to tell people what's wrong.
Yeah,
what they're doing.
right. I mean, and not to say that life isn't beautiful. I have a daughter, and I look at her and she's young. She's a baby, and I just like, man, she just has all truth right now, and that's the most beautiful thing is just to be
Because she's
around.
innocent, isn't she? She's innocent from all this crap we've been infiltrated with.
Exactly. And it's just like you just look at that and it's like I wish I could go back to that mindset of just being,
But
not
lots of the
being
children know the truth and know who they are. They know who they are more then than we do as adults.
of course. Of course. And
And also,
even though
children don't mess around, do they? They don't say, "Oh yeah, Daddy, for you, I'll say it to Globe." They know they'll just say it, whatever it is. They'll just say what the truth is. They just don't have this. They're psychic sponges. That's the sad thing is that the
yeah,
adults get to them, and then they're
now
infiltrated with our nastiness. Because
now
it
the
is very
changes
narcissistic, isn't it? It is. It's very
it is.
narcissistic this time round.
Just to pivot really quick, I was gonna bring up the fact that I strongly I'm under well, I should say this. I really do think that that time is being fucked with and that time is being sped up right now. Have you looked into that?
Well, I've got a few other things on the go. Like I was looking at this footage of these clouds, and I'm thinking, just look how low they are. Just look how low those clouds are. So it's not time, but it's the same thing because the clouds should be up there, but they're not. They're just above people's heads.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like a day. Okay, let's take your normal day, right? Today. Does this day go by a lot faster to you than it did back in like the 1990s?
I do remember. I do actually remember asking this to, and I was talking to an elderly person, and they said the older you get, the faster time goes.
Mm-hmm.
So when
I
you get
think
to your 70s and 80s, it's going even faster.
yeah, I think that time is being sped up right now. And I don't know
Well,
how
it
they're
wouldn't surprise me because yeah, I must admit, I
yeah,
thought the stars were in different place. The other day, I thought I don't remember it shouldn't be there. It should be in a different place, the Big Dipper. But
yeah, no, but I mean, if you look at it, I use this as a benchmark. I played flag football when I was younger, and you weren't allowed to sack the quarterback, right? You weren't allowed to you have to give him like 5 seconds, right? So I remember I used to always count in my head 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's how I, counted in my head for the seconds. Now take your timer on your phone and try to do that today. You can't even get the word Mississippi in.
oh, you thunder! The other day we had a thunderstorm, and I was lying there, and I was awake but half asleep, and I thought, God, that thunder's going fast. Nothing was going at normal speed. It was going really fast. It was clacking through it, and it was off.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought, what? That was going fast.
well, and it's funny because we are told what time it is. Okay, we are told. We look at our phone, we look at our
I
TV
thought
set or
they were
whatever.
doing that on my channel, to be honest.
No, no, no. This is. I feel like this is going on such a grand scale. I feel like they're artificially, speeding up time. I really feel like that. The days don't. A year goes by in a few months. I promise. It doesn't even feel right anymore. Like Christmas will come around so quick, and it's like, wait a minute, man. Is it just me,
But
or
something. If you're not, say you're not happy in your life and so forth like that, time can drag on and last like ever. And then when you get busier in your life, there's just not enough time in the day. Like we need another 6 hours
oh yeah,
in a day just to cope with working, living, making videos.
right,
There's just
right.
not enough time anymore.
No, there isn't. And and when you bring this up, people look at you like you're crazy. And it's just like, well, this is just how I feel. I feel like something's going on. And every time I've had that intuition, I always seem to be right for some reason. And
But I think
you
our
know,
seasons are changing as well. I just think it's happening. Like I just do, but I
yeah,
can't tell exactly.
yeah.
But things just, yeah, from a few years ago, the stars and things just changed. Like, wow, it didn't slowly change over the year. Then one day I looked and there it was, and then a few weeks later I went back and I thought it's completely changed up there.
Well, speaking about stars, um, to me, I feel like there are less stars in the night sky now. I don't see as many stars as I used to.
But you know what? They're so low that if you're in a place with street lights, then you're not. That's why you lose them, because of the light.
No. Okay, so I agree with that. I do agree. It's called, I believe it's called what, light pollution?
Ah.
Like when you're in a city or something
And if
like
you go
that,
into
you
the
can't see.
countryside, the whole sky is stars, thousands of them.
Yes, I agree. But what I'm saying is, right now, I've been in the same place in Long Beach for all my life. I don't see as many stars as I used to see as a child or growing up or whenever. There are far less stars in the sky, and something needs to be said about that, because that could be a key to a lot of this. I just don't I don't see that many stars at night, and it's very telling. And also the moon is like something hilarious to me now, because before, you would have to kind of like search for the moon. If you went outside, you'd have to look around for it, and then you would find it sometimes. Now I feel like anytime I go out at night, the moon is blaringly bright in my face, and it's like yelling at me. I'm like, man, I can always see the moon. It's just it's weird. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know. I've seen it
weird.
stages in the last few months. It was around a lot more in the day, and now it's going back to the night. Now it's a nighttime moon.
Yeah,
But for a
and that
few
and
weeks, it was definitely there all day, like in the day.
yeah, nothing adds up. Like
I
nothing
don't think
adds up.
people realise how much they have to do with our seasons and everything. Those things. And I mean, in a sense, what it is we live in a simulation, and we don't. All in the same thing. We do, and we don't.
Right,
So
because
how do you
because
explain
you
that to someone?
right, you could tell somebody that you live in a simulation. I'll agree with you. I agree. You could also tell me that you live this life according to your own. You go around your own accords, and you do your own thing, and you don't live in a simulation. And I agree with that too. So it's like, I don't know what outweighs the other at this point, as far as that is concerned. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a lot to explain in one hangout. We probably need about 300 hours to do it.
I know, man. Dang. But it's like all these things, I'm just,
The thing is, I just want it to stop personally. I just think it's so disgusting to do this to the people.
I agree with that. I think it's
And what's
disgusting.
it making society? Because all the ones that believe in them and believe what's happening and have no idea or don't even know, like, oh, it's like, but then how did some of us wake up? How did it work for some of us and not for others? How come some of us stand there and it's horrible because you don't, it's not a battle. Well, it is a battle, but you're prepared to battle for it, and other people just don't care at all. I don't get it.
No, and you know what's funny too, Karen, is that so I'm 34 years old, okay? I was born in 1985. What I've noticed is that a lot of people that are coming to my channel and giving like really good information and content and or comments, and who are woke, quote unquote, I found that a lot of people are born in the 80s. And what that kind of tells me is that, and of course there's all age groups that are woke, and whatever the case may be, but it just tells me that, what, we were kind of like the last generation to grow up in a world without social media and cell phones and technology like this, or the internet. We know, like, we're the last age group that knows what it's like, you
To
know
go and play outside.
exactly, exactly. And it's hard as hell to get younger people to wake up, because the indoctrination is so great right now. It is so strong. You can't even bring these things up to these kids these days. They'll automatically just call you crazy and laugh at you, like, right off the bat. And it's like, that's
Yeah, but
interesting.
it doesn't take very long for a generation to forget. Because what it is, we researched, and a lot of this flat Earth stuff was mentioned up until 19 in the late 90s. But at the same time, this person, I think he was actually called the Flat Earth Society, but he wasn't that one. Him and
Mm.
his wife had a library of stuff, and his library burnt down, and then his wife died, and then he died. But it was there to the mid. He had magazines out and everything in hard copy. You could see it. And
Wow.
then there's a gap between then and 2016, and everybody goes, "What's this thing about flat Earth?" Or I remember one other member said, her sister said, "Oh, that's medieval talk, isn't it?" Like, see, 20 years forgotten.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't think,
And
okay,
not just that, do you know something else they've been doing to it?
what's
Because
that?
this I was a bit shocked about, and it's a bit like, you just come across. When I was looking up, I couldn't believe all the old films in the 1800s. What they've done is they've sped them up, like they did the NASA one. So if you slow it down by a quarter or a half, then they're walking around like you and me. They've just sped the footage up. So that was my
Okay.
first part of
Okay.
that footage.
Okay. Wait. So I'm gonna talk about that. That goes back to me when I was saying they're speeding up time. That's because those old footages, those same frame rates don't fit in the same frame rate we have today. That's why they have to speed it up.
Yeah, but they don't put it at the right speed for us to see it. They're all sped up.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like they're just bouncing around, and it just looks crazy.
It looks old and archaic then.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this too.
In our minds, we've been told that that's old and archaic. It's old. Oh, that's what those footage look like. But they don't. You just slow it down again.
No, old footage looks ridiculous when you actually put it under a microscope and
Then
actually
I'm
analyze
noticing
it.
that
It makes sense.
underneath the people, there's a lot of different coloured people. And then what it was is I started listening more into the stories of going to America. When we were actually on Exodus over to America. Napoleon was fighting here, and then of course we were doing things like stopping trading because you had to come to England or over this way, and we stopped you. And there's all this going on. Then New York was New Amsterdam, and then we were going to fight about it, and then it turns into New York. And then what it
Right.
was is it was a bit like we were promised this land, and it like the half of Europe moved over to America. That's what it looked like. And then basically what it was is, okay, they might have added this information later, but you basically might have had an illness, you're quarantined, your children get taken away, and then they sell them. And this was going on. They're called the orphan children. And this was
I've heard
going
of
on in the
this.
1800s, right? And then when you
Yeah.
think of Hitler, he was doing the same thing. He was taking the children away.
Mm, interesting. Now, here's what I'm saying,
And what it
though.
is you're looking at it, and now he's being declared as all these other things. And I'm not saying that wasn't the only thing, because I think they used the Second World War. They were destroying Tartaria. They were destroying building upon ancient, beautiful building upon ancient, beautiful building. You'll never know now how much
No.
our world would have been like if they hadn't bombed it all. But look, all the whole of Europe got bombed.
Well,
Belgium,
here's my
France, England.
here here's my thing though. When it comes to war and all that kind of stuff, I don't accept any of it.
No, it's just
But
to defracture the country. It's just to take out the Tartaria building.
yeah. Now that to me, I have to look more into that to make a solid, confirmation on it. But I agree with you.
Oh, it's not the only thing. They might say they're changing the law. So a myriad of
Right.
things get done in
Right.
one go.
Right. Now, let me ask you this though. This is going to piggyback off of what you're saying. I don't. Well, I'll just say this. I don't think that we've been around for that long.
I agree
Now,
with you. I
now,
agree
what I
with
mean,
you. What, middle 1800s?
yeah. I'm starting to think.
There was
When
a
you
lot of
said it was,
children around then digging everybody out. A lot of children,
yeah,
not many adults.
very strange.
And then what it is if
And
you look in your bloodline, just asking you'll have more than one bloodline. What's your
uh,
bloodline? Like for me, I'm Welsh, but my dad's side is on with my grandma and my dad. The whole thing. There's German,
yeah,
Jewish, French. So actually, I came from Europe.
yeah, that's mine too. I'm part German. Like both of my parents are actually mixed with German and black. So I mean, and then I think that we like my I guess great grandparents. They migrated from the south, like New Orleans, and then moved out to California. So that's pretty much all I know. But let me say this: if we've been around, right? If we've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, centuries. Think back. Didn't they have like King Louis the 14th and stuff like that? They would have that name, the lineage. It would go down from son to son, and so it would be like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like it would be the 14th or the 15th or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it
Okay,
did change house, didn't it? If you go to the history book, because I didn't follow that bit, but I found this about kings and queens, and you can see where it went from Tudor to wherever, on and
right.
on. Like the
I
House
I
of
think
Windsor now.
I think a lot of these kings and queens that were given are just cartoon characters. I don't even think they were
Oh
real
yeah,
people.
they're in on it too. I think
Yes.
that's why
So,
Harry and Meghan are leaving.
but check this out
They're
though.
like, hell no, do I want to be a part of this? We're going as far away as possible.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm getting at here is that There are, like, today, if you go out, like for me, I'll speak in terms of my own life. If I go out, and I meet people, sometimes you'll run into people that are a junior, like, John Jr., named after their dad, right? Now, that is very telling to me, because if we've been around for centuries, why don't we see John Jr. the 52nd? Why don't we see John Jr. or John the 48th, right? Because that's what it would mean if we're continuing these lineages. The highest I've seen is like the third, or maybe the fourth.
Yeah. Doesn't it go back to about the 17th century, which is actually when we started to supposedly come to America? But you know what, as well? Whoever wins the history writes the history, and that's what they've done. They've changed it.
Of course. And I think back on, like, my history books in my history classes in high school. All I can remember about learning in history class was looking at artwork and cartoons. Like, that's it. That's all that were in my textbooks. There were just pictures of, like, black and white photos, and some depictions of war and cannons being blasted. Did any of this actually
Yeah,
happen?
and a story.
In a story, of course. But is this, how can we make sure this actually happened? Is there any way for us to vet that, or are we just being, told what to believe in? I think we're just being told.
But where does it start? Because I did have grandparents, and they were born sort of the Victorian time. Maybe they were born the very, very end of the century.
Right.
So they were real.
They were real. Yeah. I mean, my great
And then there
great,
is
yeah.
another set behind them. I know my mum's got pictures of the people behind them. And then one of my grandmas, I suppose her side, she married below her station, and they sort of didn't really talk to her.
Really.
There was things like that going on. So there's those stories. So for her, she had grandparents. Now we're talking of, say, the middle 1800s. But I know what you mean. I've done the same. I think I can only go back to there. And we
Right.
don't know what these other
It gets
things are.
fuzzy.
There are palaces under the ground. There are tunnels under the ground. There's all these other things there. There's pyramids. There's just so many things that just are wrong.
They're absolutely wrong. And man, it feels like maybe,
I'm on a
okay,
film
so
set.
yeah, oh yeah, we're definitely on a stage. I think we're all on this stage right now, and we all are playing a role, right? The thing is, they don't want you to know that, right? They don't want you to know that you're playing a role. They don't want you to know that you're basically a slave. Okay, so
I think that's the saddest thing of all, when you sort of like, you go through all these awakenings, and then suddenly you realise, what, we're a slave. It's awful, because they're always telling us, oh, it's Russia and all these other countries and how badly they treat their people. But it's the same. We get the same treatment.
Yeah,
We're in a boot camp.
yeah, I agree. I think, but for me, I'll say this. I'll say that for me, it's helped me because now I don't stress out about the most mundane things. I used to stress and have anxiety a lot, but now that I know it's all fake, I don't even worry about anything. Like, I just I get to laugh and enjoy my life and go outside and be with my daughter, my girl, and baby mama and everything. And I get to see my friends, even though my friends are asleep. I still enjoy their company. I can pretend for them, you know, because even though they think I'm crazy, I still value their friendship and their love that they give me my whole life, and I'm not willing to throw that away. So it's hard to kind of pretend and be fake around people when you're awake, but sometimes it's necessary because you don't want to lose those relationships, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You're a little bit younger than me. I found it's a bit like, I've known people for 30, 40 years or whatever. It's 30 years, I've got nothing in common with them. And actually, I've spent a lot more time in my home, but then being on the internet, making videos, and I do speak to people. But I don't get the same feeling about wanting to go out in it anymore, because everybody out there they believe in a globe.
Yeah, I know, and it's so sad. It's just hard, but there, I don't want that again. I don't want to discourage people from waking up, because it's really not bad. Like, I
Really, we
actually,
should go out and embrace it. Everything was given to us free. We should be not thinking, we should just be being.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know what I do now?
Everything, the only thing we have is now.
Yeah,
Now.
And you know what I do? I like to watch the news now because I enjoy it now. I used to hate watching the news when I was asleep, but now I can watch the news and enjoy it because it's funny. It's literally you're watching a drama, you're watching a soap opera. None of it's real,
Yeah.
you know. And now I can sit back and eat some popcorn and watch the news, and I'm like, man, this shit is funny. You know what I mean? but but
I
but
tell you
yeah,
what, I
just
tell you what's got me. Yeah, you understand that everybody say, "Oh, of course the government play around," but we're not just talking of one thing. We're talking of everything that they show us.
yeah, I know. Um,
I mean, that's the
you know,
really frightening thing. It's not like occasionally they stick in a subversive thing or whatever. It's being it's just an act. The whole thing. It's a subversion technique. The whole thing. It's a program.
all of it,
All
and
of
it's
it.
crazy. And you know what? As far as YouTube goes, I don't know what the next step is. What do you think? Because this is just speculating, but I kind of think that they're gonna have to pull the plug on YouTube if it gets to a point where it's like, okay, they can't keep reacting to it. They're gonna have to be proactive. I can easily see like a virus, like you know, like the Chinese, like they infiltrated the YouTube, Google, and they shut it all down, or or you know, they're gonna say, oh, we sold YouTube to a Russian company, and now there's no more YouTube. What do you think is gonna happen? Because they're gonna have to, something's gonna have to give at some point, you know.
Hmm. But again, doesn't that's the feeding the fear thing because we're all still here at the moment.
That's that's a beautiful point because that's why I've refused, like I've refrained to say that on my channel because I hate pushing fear porn, and I'm just speculating because I mean you know, at the end of the day nothing's gonna happen
It's
to it
hard to
physically.
know, isn't it, about anything anymore. All you know is that everything we're finding, like I've watched a lot of your videos and I know you're telling the truth and I'm telling the truth.
Yep, yep, and
I
see
spend hours on my videos.
yeah, and it's funny because I know you know truth. You don't know that you know truth.
And
That's the
once
thing.
you see it, you can't go back and pretend you didn't.
But you can also hear it though. That's what I'm saying. Like I can hear truth coming out of your voice. I know you're being real with me. I'm being real with everybody because that's the only thing I know how to do. So it's like when you hear all these people coming at you and all these disgusting things being said and all that, those people are not being honest and they're making up lies, and you can tell because and I hate going back to this, but I'm just going to say it now. A lot of these diss videos that have come out about me or my good friend Fearless TV, who is amazing. If you guys want to check him out, Fearless TV is his channel. He just got his channel taken down, but he's back up and running, so he doesn't care. But you know, shoot, and I just forgot my what I was saying. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Karen. I was just speaking about something. Shoot, dang it, I just forgot. It'll come back to me.
Ah,
Ugh. I hate when that happens. But
I
uh,
know, but it's your mind thinking faster than your
yeah,
brain
yeah.
can.
Anyways, I was just trying to say, like, you know, when it comes down to is we just have to. About. I'm sorry. Okay, about diss videos, right? For anybody that wants to make YouTube videos and just say exactly what's on your mind, do it. Don't wait. Don't and it takes nothing. All I do is hit screen record on my phone and I can put out whatever I want and speak my mind. Um, you see, because these people that will make up lies about you, again, they will not stand on those words. There's videos about me there that people they
I know,
won't even
the
talk.
narcissistic ones, they're the ones that like doing it. I think people like the fight.
They love it. They love the drama. It's entertainment for them. And even though I don't think, here's the thing too, some of these people that have been making these ridiculous videos about me, I think that some of them are actually real people like you and me, but that's how lost and confused they are. They would rather devote their whole channel just to making fun of people and calling them all the types of names instead of actually speaking truth, you know,
Can I
because
say
they're
something,
that
Canby?
lost.
You said that quite a few times. Does it miff you? Are you totally miffed about it? Because you
I
said quite a
am.
few times.
I am because it's like I'm trying to my goal like I don't even know. I don't have a goal, but what I'm saying is like I like to talk about these things, and I'm trying to find like-minded people, or at least people who are open to have conversation with. And it's hard to understand who's real and who's actually fake and who's here with agendas. That's the hardest thing that
But you
I've
know
come
what?
across.
People write to me every day, right? And you get those ones that call you a fruit nut, drug addict, whatever it is. And then
Right.
you get the other ones who don't know you at all that go, do you know what? I'm so glad that I saw this video because blah, blah. And you think, well, that person didn't talk to me like that. So they do know what they're doing, but they don't
Yeah.
care. They don't
But
care.
right. And that's such a great point that you bring up, because it's like that really does motivate me to keep going, because I know I'm reaching people, and I know that people are starting to wake up. They want to discredit us, but man, it's just I just hate
I
it,
know
you
it's
know?
really bad that they even use sport to do it. Something that's a recreational thing. The news is one
Yes.
thing, the politics is something else, but to use our sport, like you can't
They
get
use
away from it.
everything.
You turn the television on with that lot, you're never going to get away from it.
No, no. And then you go out in your real life, and then you'll conversate with grown men, and the only thing they could talk about is Kobe Bryant putting a ball through a hoop. That's all they know. They don't talk about anything else. They can't even have a normal
But
thought.
you know what? Why didn't we see it when we were 20, 25? I didn't see it, but I do now.
I don't know. That's very interesting too, because I don't know why, but my when I first woke up, it was to send I don't
What
like to
year
say
was
the
it for
word.
you? What year was it for you?
Man, it was, I want to say, it was recent. Like, I started waking up around 2015 to 2016. And but the one that did it for me though was the Orlando event that happened at the gay nightclub. I literally saw that in 2016, and I watched it happen live on CNN, and I literally had I said, "Oh my God, this is fake." I was like, "What is going on?" And after that, it was over. After that, I was flat Earth and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm still trying to learn, but I feel like where I'm at now, um, I just want to give people the opportunity to see that it's fake. When I've come
How
across with
come they
them,
can do this though? How can they? It's like sometimes they might be playing four or five people. I know acting is acting, but wow, they're busy.
they but you know what though, that's another misconception, I think. They want to make it seem like to go through Hollywood makeup, it takes grueling hours and hours of makeup to do. I don't think it's that tough. I think they're trying to make it seem that way so that we wouldn't believe these people would be able to pull it off. I think that, because, like, let's take this for example. Let's take Miley Cyrus is playing the role of a black woman named Aisha Curry, an NBA player's wife. Okay. I think that in both of these people, both of these characters, they have Instagram accounts, and they're always updating stuff and putting out their stories on Instagram and all that good stuff, right? I'm saying that I think they're able to just pretty much knock out a whole, maybe like a year's worth of work online, like for your Instagram. They could probably do that in a couple of
Yeah, it can
weekends.
be. Have you not seen one of my videos? It's actually up on the channel. In 1968, this guy goes in for a job, and then basically they tell him that he's got a truth pill inside him. So that gets him. And then they take him into the other room, and then they say to him, right, this is the news for 1973. And it was faked, all of it. All of it was faked for a few years ahead. They said, well, we've only been signed up to do a year by year. So they were in 1969. That's the year they'd covered. But I couldn't believe it that
Wow.
we were going through all this, and then there was this program explaining where we are right now.
Yeah. Isn't that funny though? Because again, that just shows you that they're able to get away with it. It's absolutely doable. The thing that they're see a huge hurdle for people in their mind is going to be like, well, that's not possible. Because you know why they're saying it's not possible for someone to play another role? It's because they're equating that to their own life. Okay? The people that are deceiving us, they do not live like us. They are not the same. They are living a totally different lifestyle. And if part of that is to deceive you and put on disguises, they're going to
Maybe
do it
all it
any way they
is
can.
maybe it's just that thing of money takes a certain lot of people that way to lie, but they don't care. But money must do it. It may only be the fact that it's money. I mean, when you listen to some of these sports people or even the films, the music people, they've all got